What's up, Bruins fans? I'm here to give you the latest info on your beloved Boston Bruins. This video isn't going to be a long one, but felt I needed to share some information that was released about who the Boston Bruins are going to invite potentially to PTOs at training camp. If you could like the video and subscribe, if you haven't already done so, it would be greatly appreciated. It lets YouTube know that you like my Boston Bruins content. Now let's jump into it. Shawn Hutcheon is reporting that according to his sources, the Boston Bruins are considering inviting Blake Wheeler and Kailer Yamamoto to training camp on a PTO. Bruins fans are very familiar with Blake Wheeler as he played for the franchise and was traded in 2011 along with Mark Stewart to the Atlantic Thrashers for Rich Peverley and Boris Valabic. Peverley was a vital piece during the 2011 Cup run, and I wouldn't even say now that the Bruins lost that trade. The trade was a perfect example of a trading for a player in order to win, not knowing Wheeler was going to be something special in the future. If the Bruins don't win the Cup in 2011, sure, you can say the trade was terrible then. But honestly, at this point, I don't see how you can. Peverley was so good for the Bruins in 2011, and the trade at the time, Peverley was the better player. Wheeler has had a phenomenal career in the NHL and has played in 1,172 games, scoring 321 goals and getting 622 assists for 943 points. There was a stretch from 2013 to 2019 that he was one of the best power forwards in the league. 2 of those years, he got 91 points. When a player plays the game Wheeler does, it can be hard on the body, and Wheeler is no little guy. He is 6'5", 222 pounds, and last season played for the New York Rangers, but was only able to play in 54 games, scoring 9 goals and 12 assists for 21 points. Wheeler last year suffered a gruesome lower body injury that kept him out most of the season, but he was able to play in the playoffs for New York near the end. He is a fighter, and I do wonder if he does have anything left in the tank. The Bruins last year had vets like JVR and Shattenkirk that were able to play fairly well for them when called upon, but showed their age when having to play against some of the faster teams in the league. I'm not against inviting any player for a PTO, and certainly not Wheeler. I have always liked the way he plays the game and is the type of player that leaves it all on the ice. If he can be healthy, why not give him a chance to earn a spot on the Bruins roster? Lysell isn't a lock by any means, and if Wheeler can give the production he had in his last season in Winnipeg, which was 16 goals and 55 points, I wouldn't be mad at that either. If he's any good in camp, the Bruins would probably offer him a 1-year deal at a very, very low cap hit. The other name mentioned was Kailer Yamamoto, who I've mentioned before on this channel as a possible target for the Boston Bruins. And I mentioned it because I thought he'd be little risk to invite him to camp on a PTO. Yamamoto was drafted in the first round of the 2017 NHL entry draft by the Edmonton Oilers, 22nd overall. And at the time, many Bruins fans hoped the team was going to draft him, but they took Urho Vakanainen at 18. At the time, I wanted the Bruins to draft Robert Thomas, but by no means did I want them to take Yamamoto. I know some of you are going to say, hey, look at Court, he's guessing Robert Thomas because he's the best player that could have been taken. But I have receipts. I was able to find an old article that I wrote for the Black and Gold. I have a hard time thinking Yamamoto will turn out to be anything with the Boston Bruins. In 2021-22, he was able to get 20 goals and 21 assists for 41 points, but hasn't been able to replicate that success or improve upon it. Last season in Seattle, he scored 8 goals and got 8 assists for 16 points in 59 games for a team that was desperate for goals. Yamamoto is 5'8", but is only 153 pounds. He's a very fast skater, but has been plagued by injuries over his career. He's taken a lot of big hits throughout his career. I truly don't think he fits the Bruins system or style of play, but I'd love to be wrong. Letting him try it on a PTO can't hurt at all. You either sign him to a very small contract or you owe him nothing and let him go. He's a former first rounder, but to me, that is about it. And I think I'd rather give a longer look to the 37-year-old Wheeler than the 25-year-old Yamamoto. I think any player that's going to make this roster, though, better be better than the prospects they have in Providence, like Fabian Lysell. I want one of the kids to make the roster and make an impact over any PTO player. Playing in Providence is not a bad thing. From what everyone is saying, some of these kids are ready to take the next jump. Let me know in the comments what you think of Wheeler or Yamamoto possibly trying out for the Boston Bruins. That wraps up today's video. To stay up to date on all the news surrounding the Boston Bruins, please subscribe and drop me a like. News breaks surrounding the Boston Bruins, please be sure to check out the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you, and I'll see you next time.